Based on the conversations I had with university stakeholders like rectors, chancellors, innovation leaders, what I heard from them saying that such an infrastructure that what we are about to build would deliver value for them because they are not informed well enough to make the best possible decisions. And why that matters for them is because they want their university to perform. And one way to measure the performance is the amount of spinouts from the university, and second, how much of those can attract venture capital investments. If we only look at these two, and we can also add the number of patents, because that's already measured, we can multiply these numbers, not just increase it like 10%, but we can actually multiply these numbers because currently only 22% of these spinouts ever get venture capital funding. And the number one problem is with that is that neither the IP policy, the equity stakes, and the visibility is in line with the market expectations. It's not very difficult to fix those once you know how to do that. And we are not here to educate them how to do that. We just want to connect the best ones with the ones who still need to learn. And I think as a university leader, you have an easy fix for this inefficiency. And the gap is not a static thing between the best ones and the underperforming ones. The gap is growing. So whoever performs well, they will perform even better next year.
Because they can attract more funds.
And better talent as well.
Indeed. So what would you say to current universities that don't have a VC at this moment? What would you say? How would you? What is the value for them?
So when we launched UVC actually, and then when we launched Uniprisma, I received quite many inbound interest from universities, actually from all across the globe, that wanting to just pick my brain on how to launch a university venture capital fund. And it's a very complex game.
Different stakeholders, different approaches.
It's super complex. It's more complex than to launch any VC fund on the market.
Which is already
super complex and risky. So, because now, as a university, now you have to align with the university's strategy, that is your context and finances. And decision making in universities, it's quite well known that they are not the fastest. So it can go slow. It can be very bureaucratic and administrative. Plus, then you need to also convince probably some market player, a fund of funds, an outside investor to co-invest into the fund, right? An LP. So it's very complex, but I think the value that we can deliver for universities who are playing with the thought of launching their own fund is to actually learn almost for free. Like you need to invest your time, of course, but you can learn from others very easily and apply those models. But of course, let's not be naive. Just because you have a playbook, this is how to launch a university venture capital fund. Maybe we can write a book and publish it.
Yeah.
I think it would help, but it doesn't make things happen. So you need people. You need people who actually been there, done that. And this is a very unique know-how. There's not like thousands of people are running around the street with this knowledge. It's very, very niche, very high value and very niche. So if we have the community, then this talent, this intelligence would be a lot more available and visible for those who require this assistance. Is there any gap in the university VC ecosystem from a talent point of view? Is there any kind of talent that is usually missing from this environment?
Well, Karoly, you have market VCs that are investing in AI or investing in B2B software, but you also have market VCs that are investing in deep tech, which is similar like university VCs. It's research-based innovation that they try to commercialize with the spin-off. It's a different animal. It's a different kind of thinking. It's a different kind of investing. It's more long-term. It's more impactful in the end, but it's much, much longer, the ramp-up, basically, than a usual B2B software. The other thing is that if a person actually understands this, but also the struggles with the academic struggles that they're having, meaning the IP and the patents and all these elements, if they connect that basically to the long-term strategy of the company and have the right talents inside the spin-off, then this is gold.
Perfect. What I have seen launching a university venture capital fund during that time, during the launch, is the lack of entrepreneurs, like already either exited founders or successful veteran founders, helping the researcher team to develop a little bit of a commercial mindset, a market-focused mindset. That kind of talent, I think a lot of universities are struggling to attract that kind of talent. Why? Because the academic environment is not very attractive for entrepreneurs usually. There are, of course, exceptions.
Yeah. But no, absolutely, I agree with you. And I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs that would be willing to do this and that are very eager to do this, but indeed, in a certain way, it's not as sexy enough, basically, than a B2B software, apparently. But indeed, we see a lot of these gaps missing. That I think that a lot of spin-offs could use one of those venture builders, right? These entrepreneurs in residence. They could use these venture builders to actually commercialize the business even better and faster than that a researcher, a founder or co-founder can do.
Absolutely.